Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review in which this chapter will follow up the events of the last one in which Robin was trying to fight Saint Somers to try to save Ohara save Ohara's legacy with the books and to help free the kids, but unfortunately that did not work due to the fact that, well, Saint Somers is immortal. And the Giants are then forced to make the decision of burning the books after one of their children was nearly sacrificed. Let's see, despite her pleas not to do so. However, let's see, Scopogaban arrived, and it's the first character to seem to do some more permanent damage against Saint Somers, setting up a fight that many people are anticipating to see what Scopogaban can do. Now, before that, we've got a few cover stories to cover things to discuss. The first, it seems like Shonen Jump has, basically done another cover with, let's see, one of their Shonen Jump covers with the One Piece characters. This time, Luffy, Sanji, and Chopper having a joyride on a red car with the number 56. Sanji driving, Luffy just pointing his finger up to where to go, and Chopper holding onto Sanji's hairs tight just to be safe. Arguably, it seems like this is a bit of fun cover thing, but yeah, let's see, jump cover. Let's see, none of those big shonen everyone's on their thing, but just mainly the Straw Hats, at least Luffy. But yeah, anyway, now we got to the actual double panel colored spread, which is apparently called the Botakuri made calf, in which you have, let's see, Lilith, Nami, Robin, and Bonnie being made, serving Luffy, Zoro, Chopper, Sanji, Usopp, and then there's also a cat and a ram bodyguard, if you will, in the thing. Let's see, everyone's sort of wearing black in some way. It's the Straw Hat. Let's see, the male's wearing suits. Let's see, the females, of course, wearing maid calves thing. You've got Usopp doing his, I guess you could say, sugar face, with looking at assuming the price tag from Lilith, who has charged Usopp probably rather expensively. You're getting Sanji all lovey-dovey, being served by such beautiful maids. You got Nami pouring ketchup and writing a message in, I think, the food, in which Luffy is enjoying it. Chopper's just glowing eyes, so is drinking. The cat's also looking at the price bill. And the ram is just looking on. He might be I guess, a gopher for let's see, the calf. But yeah, you got Robin smiling in the bin, and you got Bonnie running, let's see, smiling, her eyes closed, happy, seemingly that she'd done a successful serve. But you also got this little sort of rip thing, let's see, on her tray. I'm not sure what that's supposed to imply. Some are wondering if this might be implying that Kuma's going to die. We'll have to wait and see what Oda actually is going to ultimately do with Kuma in the end before that happens. But anyway, that's basically sorry for hay fever. That's basically the cover story thing. Now on to the actual chapter, in which this first part is share screen. Yep. And this first part is basically focusing on, I guess you could say, Scopogaban, if you will. Let's see, Nami, Jinbei, Usopp, Robin, and Brook are like, what? Surprised that he's here. Let's see, asking who is that. Somers is feeling the pain. Usopp is wondering how he's able to damage him, but Scopogaban seems to imply he's rusty. He throws his axe and tries to do another attack, but Somers blocks with a sort of move called Thorn Incineration, causing these, I think, Haki-empowered thorns to shield him. Let's see, but Gaban is, let's see, I think still spinning the axes, but let's see, Somers is trying to jump out of the way. With him coming oh, it's the Mountain Eater. What are you doing in Elbaf? With Gaban talking about how we're not really I'm not really in the mood to answer questions, if you will. Let's see, as he is fighting Somers, Usopp ends up asking Nami, wait, you've met him in the castle? With Nami talking about how, yeah, he was totally pushing Luffy and Zoro around. Let's see. And he's apparently the father of the boy named Colin, the father of Colin at school. Usopp is a bit surprised by that, with Robin going like, "Didn't I hear that he might be Scopogaban?" With then Jinbei saying, "Wait, he's the left arm of the king of pirates, the counterpart to Rayleigh." With then I think maybe Brock asking, "What's he doing in the land of the giants?" You get sort of like Chopper observing, like, okay, his attacks are actually doing damage, but wondering how. Robin is trying to escape with her flower arms, if you will, as thinking that she can still help from a distance. But Jinbei says, "Don't not to do it," saying that you use his use of thorns, your hand combat blows aren't really suited to fight him. But he pointed out that Robin, that this devil fruit is basically a bad matchup for her. Anyway, you've got Summer's going with trying to move a move called Forehunt, and a Crimson Lotus Hell as you get more spikes and thorns coming out to attack Gaban. Let's see, with him just talking about how there's no safe passage for Gaban. But Gaban is basically saying he's in a hurry, chopping up the thing, with Scopogaban going like, "Come on then," as Scopogaban does the Axe Symphony, sort of slicing him in half, and if you will, and as he busts up a thorn he's about to land on, and Scopogaban himself ends up falling down on the actual spikes, shocking the Straw Hats. As a matter of fact, he was able to beat him. Chopper ends up following Scopogaban, and Nami is just asking where he's going. Is he going like, is he fighting the spikes? He's wondering how Chopper's thinking how he's able to slice a guy who's immortal, saying that it's got to be a crucial secret. So it seems like Chopper wants to try and observe him to try and find out, okay, why is that? Let's see, doing it. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna like give my thoughts on this first half of the chapter. First of all, I really like how let's see how powerful, like how shocked the Straw Hats are just like Gaban's here, and just seeing just how powerful he is. I think they're doing like the good sort of like audience sort of reactions, if you will. But yeah, I do like how let's see Scopogaban is just basically in a bit of a hurry. He's doing no questions when even asked by Saint Summers, and let's see and it's just basically trying to make sure that he can try and take they're trying to take each other down quite quickly. I also like how you get the Straw Hats talking about the conversations about who has met Scopogaban and who he really is and all that, with Nami pointing out just how strong this guy was, that Zoro and Luffy had a bit of a tough time against him. So show it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's definitely the left hand of the Pirate King, and comparing him to Rayleigh. So yeah, I'm really liking like also the conversations they have around that. I also like that Robin is trying to get out, but I do like how Jinbei is pointing out that, yeah, this devil fruit is the antithesis of your powers, which does make me wonder if these two are going to have more of a long-term fight down the line, where Robin, will be able to try and best at this point, since Oda likes his characters overcoming very difficult challenges, and he's finally found an opponent that will be difficult for Robin to fight. Who knows? But yeah. But anyway, I do like how basically Scopogaban is like, wasting no time and just chopping the guy in half, and it's like, yeah, you would probably expect this from the left hand of the Pirate King. He's supposed to be arguably, as strong or near as strong as Rayleigh, so, and Rayleigh could take on an admiral at least pre-time skip. So yeah, it makes sense that the Guards Knights would probably the average member of the Guards Knights would probably lose, as I think at best they seem to be like Yonko Commander or higher than that, but not on the level of admirals, at least. The regular ones. Before we know Shamrock is, Yonko or even admiral level, or probably at least the same strength as his brother. But yeah, who knows on that part. So yeah, I do like that. But I do like how also you got Chopper sort of like observing how Scapa Gaban's able to damage Somers and wondering, and it seems like he's trying to think and like analyze it so he could perhaps maybe find a way himself to try and take down the gods and knights. But I think unfortunately for Chopper, he does not have hockey, so I don't think that's going to work for him unless Devil, if he gets a more improved Devil Fruit Awakening, and maybe that does something, but we'll have to wait and see in that regard. Anyway, we cut to like other kids being put to sleep with killing well, you've got the principal, one of the giants, taking the kids away and killing him. Congratulating Ange of burning down the library thing. You got like Ange sort of like crying here, which seems to debunk the idea that she's the traitor. But yeah. As it's making it very, very hard to find the traitor of Elbaf at this point. So anyway, she's proven to be obedient. So let's see. As killing him is pulling up an arrow and burning the school. She cries about Ange cries about this, but the building sets on fire. As he's like starting to laugh, going ha wah ha ha ha! Look at it burn. Robin sees the library and starts crying herself and looking despair. So and even though Saul does not get a look, he can see the tears in his eyes. It's like Orohar's legacy is being destroyed. As then you cut to Jarl crying out no, with the citizens saying, "It's not your fault, Chief Jarl," saying the words of our forefathers. It's all of our. As he goes like about how he's basically destroying the words of their forefathers and their legacy and culture, if you will. As Killingham then tells, I believe, hold on, let me just cut to this next Gunko, if you will, that the fire is basically burning, and Gunko gets the child to come back, ask if she's happy, but she's just pretty much just crying and saying sorry that she's still alive, saying that sorry that everything's burning because of her. But the kids try to say, "No, Raj, it's not your fault." Saying there's like the giant pirates, you see them marching. Anyway, Scapa Gaban then arrives. Betsy then arrives, going about culture, history, children, troops, yet saying that they don't have the right to take any of these things away, as he's about to face Gunko. With Gunko realizing that he's a crewmate of the Pirate King. Betsy saying that you realize that the resistance means death for these kids. Some of the giant kids notice that, it's Mr. Yar. Colin, Mr. Yar's here, which saying how he came to save us. Gaban's trying to charge before, thinking Colin not to speak up, saying that if he does, Gunko will know how to do a weakness. But Gunko being unfortunate, but I think Colin not realizing what he's doing, to be fair, cries out daddy, saying, "That's my daddy, everybody. Guess what? He's stronger than anyone. He's going to save us all." But Gunko hears this, and this Gaban's trying to like charge in and take out. Before he can take out Carl. Take out Gunko. Our power reaches Gaban's next with her on it, with her pointing out like a sharp sword to his neck. Colin crying, "Well, no." With Gunko says, "So you don't mind if I kill him?" That's what, Is she going, is that where I take the response from? With Gaban thinking, this is my final chance. There's still time to pull out the fire in the library. I think he can save the children Elbaf in the process. I think it's as long as an instant. And he goes like, "Hang in there, Colin. Give him a second." Saying that he's a big, strong boy. He will do so. But Colin, of course, has complete confidence and says, "Yeah, okay, Daddy, I'm a warrior. So beat this creep." Gaban thinking how if you be strong, if you get hurt, I'll make sure you survive. Let's see, with her going like, "What a life once lost will never return." Let's see, as you've got, I think, someone saying, "Look out, Colin," as you get Gaban thinking back to like the day of Colin's birth, where Ripley saying, "This is our son" to Mr. Yar, with Gabon saying he's so adorable and huge. As he goes on about how, "What a gift you've given me, Ripley, my lifelong treasure." Let's see, Ripley, and you get like Ripley in the modern time saying, "Please be safe, Colin," as let's see, Gunko's blade is about to pierce his neck, if you will. You start to see a little bleeding. As let's see, Gabon says, "I have to put a stop to this before things far out of control," getting his hockey ready to slice. But he ends up seeing a future sight that he is unable to prevent Colin's death, as you see Gunko stabbing through the neck. Let's see, Colin trying to say, "I'll be strong," with I think Google saying, "Oh no, Colin," with Gabon just crying out, "Don't do it, I yield," dropping his axe and having his hands up as Gunko goes towards him, as Gabon says sorry to Elbaf, with Gunko going like feeble, frail thing, uses her arrows to stab Gabon a few times as he falls seemingly to his death, as he shouts, "I am sorry, Colin. It must have hurt. I'm sorry." But Colin is just crying as well. He's fallen to the underworld as Colin cries out, "Daddy, Daddy," with Chopper jumping down. And then you've got let's see, Colin is crying out, "Daddy, Mr. Yar," and this is where let's see, Gunko keeps hearing the word "daddy" and then thinks, "Father." Let's see, and thinking of a flashback of a younger version of her as she's questioning what is this memory, and then we get like, wrong image. Then we get like a brief, flashback where it appears to be a brook with a young Gunko as he's going, "Yo ho ho," saying, "Well, it's my dream to become a pirate," you see. And it seems like she's got a lot more memories as Brock is starting to comment about how the resemblance is uncanny. Usopp is crying out, "Think of a way to escape," but he's also like, "Oh, pardon me." And Gunko seems to recognize Brook now. Let's see, she starts to run to him, saying, "Are you Brook?" And this is when she pauses as you hear a voice saying, "What is taking so long?" As you see Summer's still alive despite being cut in half in spikes. And he's just like, "Ow." And Killingham goes like, "Great Emu," as he thinks, at this moment, the Holy Land is a sea of fire. This is Emu talking. With everyone being surprised of what happened to her, saying that she looks so scary now, saying that we need greater numbers. As you now have got Emu possessing Gunko, saying, "Allow Mu to show you the dominance of God," ending the chapter basically. So that's that's the end of like the chapter, if you will. Anyway, my overall thoughts on this part of the chapter. Oops, going back a bit. Okay, I do like how basically with like you're starting to see like the library burn on fire. You'd see the Giants just getting the kids that are still sleeping there safely away. But granted, with Killingham, it's just like, of course, we're seeing a lot more of like what you expect, typical Celestial Dragon behavior of laughing at people's misery and all that stuff, and like, well done for Bang, because let's see, Killingham doesn't really look like your due to the fact that he seems to have his Devil Fruit hybrid form active all the time. You don't really see the standard Celestial form, and basically he could be like a friendly, goofy character, but now here you're starting to see like more of that sort of sadistic state you see of God's Knights, if you will. So you're getting like the evil laughing, and it's just like, well done, you're being obedient and all that. So yeah. But interesting that Ange is sort of like crying, because it seems like either she's being a very good actor or she's not actually a traitor. It's interesting because people are starting to find out, okay, who is the traitor amongst Elbaf? There's got to be a traitor. Some think it might be the king. Some think that it's someone on the island still. Some think it's Joe. Some think it's Ange. But granted, it's looking harder and harder that it's like, okay, the only traitor that could be is maybe the king. But we still don't know the full story about King Harold, and he might not actually be a traitor. So we've got that. But yeah, I do like how you've got Killingham being the one to burn the library, and I do like how you see Robin and Sol's look of despair, because it's like all of that Horrors 4 is now being burned with that library. Granted, I do think the majority of those books will probably survive, though. How they get taken out, how they get put out, the fire gets put out, who knows? Maybe a mix of Robin and Jinbei. I'm not entirely sure, but who knows? But yeah, I do like how you've got Giles crying at despair at the fact that their forefathers' history is being erased, their culture and legacy is doing so. And I even like how you've got like Ranji just feeling so bad about this that she's apologizing for being alive because she thinks like, this is my fault. The school and the library is being burned because of her. But I do like how the kids and the giant pirates are trying to shout like, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. Oh, as the Guards Knights were going to do this regardless of like who was a hostage or not. So yeah, but you can probably tell that this is going to weigh on her for a bit. But yeah, but anyway, I do like how you've got Gabon here trying to charge and take Gunko out quickly and all that stuff. But let's see, Gunko's being like, okay, so you don't mind if these kids are dying and all that, because it's like, that is the case of Gabon's not fast enough. But unfortunately for Gabon, the kids, just can't help but shout out his name. And Colin, despite Gabon hoping that he won't say anything, you've got like... won't say, that Colin won't say anything. Unfortunately for Gabon, which I don't entirely blame Colin for this because, well, he's a kid. You see your daddy come to rescue, you're going to shout, yay, my daddy's going to come and save me. Not realizing that, especially if you're a young child, you're not going to realize that the bad guy is going to use that to his advantage as a hostage, saying, like, if you're not careful, you die and all that stuff. And I do like that Gunko is this, wouldn't hesitate using the arrows to quickly get a blade ready to pierce his neck. So yeah, it's like, is basically she's found a weakness and is going to use it to exploit to get Gabon to stand down. And I do like how, despite the fact even then Gabon is trying to assure Ripley, Colin, even getting those flashbacks of when he was born, thinking that his son is his treasure and all that stuff. But trying to do it, but of course we get like even when Gabon is being defeated here, we get another feat that he actually has a future sight vision similar to like Shanks's level, if you will, seeing the future, if you will, and Katakuri. That is just like okay, and it's like since his son is his treasure, he's like, I give up. It's like basically his kryptonite, and as a result gets beaten as it for. Which is probably the best way to take out Gabon, because like it's clear that he is stronger than the Guards Knights, at least the average Guards Knight. But you still need the Guards Knights to be a bit of a threat. But so of course they would do the bad guy thing of threatening the life of his child to take him out, and I think that's the best way you could do it, because you still get like a feat of Gabon seeing into the future, but is also being taken out because his son is being held hostage. So yeah, that works, if you will. And the kids start, of course, crying and calling out Daddy or Mr. Ya. And this, of course, triggers something with Gunko, of course, which granted, I think there's at this point now the theory that Gunko is either, say, like kid's childhood friend, which this is a minor theory, but I have seen people say it, or a clone of Ginny. I think those theories have been basically debunked at this point, and instead it's actually, she seems to have a history with Brooke. Now that history, who knows? Seems like she's remembering something about her dad. many are theorizing that maybe is Brock maybe the dad, but I don't think that. I think that's a bit too early to let's see confirm. It's very likely that we're getting more of like Brock's unknown told history, because we do know that he talked about how he used to serve as a captain of some sort of like kingdom. And who knows, it could very well possibly be that Gunko is somehow the princess of that kingdom, and Brooke, being one of the palace guards and all that stuff, was a bit of a sort of father figure, mentor figure, something like that to like her. And it seems like he's close enough that one or the others talk about how their dreams to be a pirate, you see. I assume it's going to probably likely be Brooke as his dreams to be a pirate, but for all we know, that might actually be Gunko's. But yeah, but I do like how hearing like the kids crying daddy, it seems to trigger something in her, thinking like it seems like she's lost her own dad. I assume that she probably lost her dad. I'm not sure if it's by possibly the world nobles, be it maybe the culling games they do, or maybe even like this father offended the celestial dragons, but nevertheless she's starting to remember. And it seems like she recognizes Brooke, as he also starting to recognize her. And they're trying, and you see, she goes like asking, just as she's about to remember and ask Brooke. Unfortunately for her, gets taken over by, of course, Emu, which, I think at some point you're going to have, it's very possible that you're going to have, like, say, Brooke, maybe it's like if they have a history between Gunko and Brooke, you're going to have Brooke say, try and maybe be the cause that breaks free of Gunko from the control of the world nobles. But for the time being, she is now being possessed by Emu as a host body. I do like how he's just showing like how long are you going to take and thinking like, okay, I need to the Holy Land's on fire, but fine. I'll come here and show you the power of God, if you will. I do like how we've got Summers who's just still like alive, but it's like, ow, because of his own spikes are hurting him. Also, he's been cut, so it's like he's not necessarily dead yet. So it seems like it still take a long way to go to get rid of that immortality, if you will. I do like how Killingham's just going like, great, it's a great Emu, or like realizing, oh crud, it's the boss, which confirms that the Holy Knights do know that Emu exists, which probably should have been, I think, should have been obvious when Saint Figarland was promoted, but I think there's still speculation, could have said like, okay, he's just met he's just only now met Emu as being promoted for becoming a Five Elder, but nope. The Holy Knights are definitely his foot soldiers, and they know, and it seems like they know who he is, so you've got confirmation about that. I am curious to see who is actually burning the Holy Land and all that stuff. So, contenders many think is either the Revolutionary Army with Sabo there, or maybe Akainu with his magma. And literally it might be that Akainu has finally had enough of the world nobles and decided to have the Marines rebel against the world government. We're not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see what it is. But it seems like Emu requires that the Holy Knights to come back there. But it's like, okay, clearly he needs this stuff in Alba sorted, so he's going to try and show the power of God. And it's like, we're actually going to get a little, at the very least, a little taste of what Emu can actually do. I don't want to see the full power of Emu because, he's possessing someone. But at the very least, we're going to get probably a glimpse of Emu and see whether or not he's actually worthy or not to become possibly considered the final boss of One Piece. So, yeah. Overall, I'd probably give this chapter a 9 out of 10. You've got saying, Gaban versus St. Summers, with Gaban showing that why he's a former left hand of the Pirate King. So yeah. But I also like how you're starting to see like the effects of like the library and book and the school being burned, and then Ronji's reaction to it. Because Gaban is trying to, of course, prevent it, but Gunko using Colin as a hostage. Prevented that. So I do like how that's the best way to try and get out with Gabon and the Straw Hats, but also then, of course, we getting like more confirmation of like a, let's see, Gunko having a history with Brook, which I'm all for getting more character for Brook, so props to that. And of course, now we're also going to get likely the return Emu possessing her body and seeing a glimpse of his powers and all that stuff. So yeah, arguably a very 9 out of 10 chapter. Let's see, a few nitpicks here and there, but they're just nitpicks. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this chapter. So those who end up listening to what I had to say, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. And I'll see you all next time for the next chapter of One Piece, which I hopefully review to, let's see, either later, let's see, Sunday evening or night, or Monday evening or night. So either one. But yeah, but for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Thank you for those who end up listening, and I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. Bye for now, and see you next time.